I'm going to show you how to take the crazy looking nails on the left and turn them into the nails on the right. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer. Today we are doing builder gel extensions with paper forms. A lot of you have asked me in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in if I could do some extensions, and it's been a minute. So what's going to happen is my nails are going to look like crazy alien nails, but I'm going to show you how that is totally okay and how you can turn them into gorgeous nails. But the first thing we have to do is we've got to take off some of our old builder gel. So I have some builder gel down on my natural nails right now. I have clear down, and I wanted to try out a new bit that I got from Amazon. I'll make sure everything that I use in the video is linked in the description. So this new bit is a carbide bit, but it's a cone one, and I haven't tried one of these before. I've tried like a bunch of different ones, but I wanted to try this one, and I got it in medium specifically for removing builder gel. I'm trying to keep my one bit for removing dip and then another one for removing builder gel, just so that they can last a little bit longer instead of using like them both back and forth. The builder gel flew off with this bit, and I was super excited because it's really gentle, I found, and some bits definitely are like a lot rougher. I found that for me, what works best is carbide, either safety bits, and now I can use like one of these cone type shape bits. Once I get a good amount of the bulk of my old builder gel off, and I'm just debulking some so that when I do the extensions and do the new builder gel, that it's not too thick and I don't really have to do like any filing on top of my nails unless I need to from where I did the extension. So once I get the bulk of the builder gel down, then I go in with my little mini sanding bands, and these are my absolute favorite to do my nail prep. So I get these from Susie, and what you saw me do was I took an old hand file and just ran the bit along it for a couple seconds. The reason I like to do that is because then when you're using the sanding band, it doesn't cut up around your skin at all. It's very gentle. That's called seasoning your bands. So you can actually do that with hand files or sanding bands. It just keeps you from like cutting it up on the sharp edges, because sanding bands are basically just like using a hand file, right? But in an e-file, a bit version. I like to use the 240 grit. This way I'm being really gentle on my natural nails. I use that sanding band to not only go around and prep all of my new growth on my nails, I also use it to remove any lifting. And it's the only bit that I use on my natural nails. And then I go in with my Cuticle Bit. That's one of my favorite one from Macart. And I just go around and make sure that there's no excess skin stuck on my nail plate before I go in to like do the rest of my prep. I wanted to like mess with these forms that I had gotten a while ago, and I swear I remembered them being really easy to work with. I like to test new things off Amazon or wherever, and the form went really well for my thumb. Like my thumb is huge, so it went on easily. I just couldn't like close it together. That was okay. I was like, you know what, it's fine. I put it on quick, and then I went in with my Dehydrator, and I do Dehydrator thumb to pinky, and then I go back in with 2 layers of primer. And with the primer, I really etch that into my nails. So basically what that means is I'm just scrubbing the primer into my nails. So I do the same thumb to pinky Dehydrator, thumb to pinky primer, and then I go with the second layer of primer, thumb to pinky as well, because that really helps me with adhesion. There are a lot of brands that for their primer, or some brands call it bond, whatever it is that leaves a tacky residue behind, that's specifically for gels. So you definitely don't want to use something that's for dip liquids for gels, and you don't want to use something that's for gels with dip liquids. So since we're using all gels to do the builder gel extensions, you want a primer underneath it that's going to leave a sticky residue that allows your gel to adhere to your natural nails. Some people do need a first layer of gel base down on their natural nails to get better adhesion of builder gel. For me, if I do that, and there are some of us out there, we get way less retention if we use gel base first. I have never been able to keep gel base on my natural nails. Even when I got my nails done at a salon, it would still be peeling off within a couple days. So I started years ago skipping gel base under my builder gel and found that the adhesion was like a world of difference. So if you're struggling with your builder gel adhesion and you're using gel base under, then try it without the gel base first. Or if you're doing the opposite and not getting good adhesion, you're doing builder gel directly on your natural nails, try it with gel base. Most people do need gel base. unless you're using a gel product that specifically like has a built-in gel base. So like if you're using a rubber base, those are like a combination of builder gel and base gel, and they cure flexible. Unlike builder gel that cures hard, the rubber base gel cures flexible, and you don't need that base gel under it. So you've got your form on, and the first thing that you want to focus on is getting your slip layer down. The slip layer is an uncured layer of gel that goes over your entire nail. And when you're doing extensions, your slip layer just goes down on your natural nail, and then you'll pull that bead down more. Plus, if if you do what I did and don't cut your nails down short and the forms don't fit correctly, you might have to do a little bit more finagling when you're doing the extension. So this is what I found. My nail shape, because my hands are so big and I had a square nail going on, the curvature of my natural nails was not fitting with these stiff nail forms. These nail forms are really stiff, so they worked great the last time I did extensions when my nails were super short. Not that they were long by any means, but I've noticed for me using a really stiff form like this, my nails have to be really short for them to work well with my nails. When my nails are slightly longer like this, I need a much more flexible form, but I kind of forgot about that. And to be honest, I hadn't done extensions in so long. I just really wasn't thinking. And the forms kept like popping off my nails, and they weren't curving properly. So I was having to kind of hold the form up as I was doing the extension. So once you get your slip layer down, that slip layer is the uncured layer that is just really thin, and it goes on your natural nail because that provides a slippery slope for the builder gel bead to flow down. And when you're doing your bead of builder gel down your nail, that's when you're going to be building your extension. So you first put your slip layer down, you don't cure it, it's really thin, and then you get a bead of builder gel out. And unlike when you're just doing builder gel on your natural nails, your bead of builder gel for extensions is going to be bigger because your nails are getting extended. There's a little bit of a caveat with what I'm doing and what I'm telling you to do, and that's because the forms weren't fitting correctly. So because the forms weren't fitting correctly, I knew I would need a little bit more of the extension built up than I normally do because the forms just were not going onto my nail properly. So what I had to do, normally I just put the slip layer down over my natural nail and then only build out the extension with the bead. But because there was so much extra room, I needed to do a little bit of the builder gel down on like my slip layer and make sure I had some of that base down before I did the bead, or else I wasn't going to have enough, and I was afraid I was going to put either too much or too little builder gel on. And I was concerned too with like how much the forms were moving because they just were not fitting my nails properly. So I thought if I put just a little bit of builder gel down, that when I do that bead of builder gel that goes over my entire nail, that builds my apex, and it also comes out to the extension, that I was able to like do it a little bit easier if I put a little bit of builder gel down on the paper form for like the slip layer part. That's why what I'm saying to do and what I'm doing don't match. Sometimes you have to do things like that, right? If your extensions aren't working properly, these are some of the things that you kind of have to learn how to troubleshoot. But when you're first doing builder gel extensions, I would definitely recommend making sure that you find forms that fit into your nails properly. That's going to make your life so much easier than what I tried to do here. So typically you don't want a big bead of builder gel because you want to keep your layers thin, but when you're doing extensions, you need a little bit more builder gel on that bead so that you actually have enough to extend your nail. And I do not do anything fancy with my extensions. I'm not great at extensions. I'm okay at extensions, but I'm really good at hand filing, which is why I like to do them, because even when they look like crazy and alien nails, like you'll see at the end, that's okay. We're going to go to town with our hand file. I'm going to show you how you can make it look good. Now, something that you want to be super careful about when you're doing extensions is that you don't want to get any of the builder gel in between the paper form and your natural nail. You don't want it to get underneath your natural nail there, because then it could get on your skin, it could get stuck underneath your natural nail. It's not going to fully cure. So I was trying to like hold it and make sure the forms didn't move because they're stiffer. And something that you saw me do with my pointer finger was I ended up having to even take the form off because I just could not squish it up underneath my nail properly to get the form sitting correctly. And I got too much builder gel that was seeping in between the form and my natural nails. So I ended up having to like put a new form on and just get it situated in there in a much better place. When you're putting the form on your nail, underneath your nail, you want the form just under your natural nail and you want it to be sitting flat up against it. So you also do want it to be curved if your natural nail has a curve. These paper forms I was using are very stiff and they just weren't curving enough to my natural nails. So that's where I was struggling a bit with my pointer, middle finger, and ring finger. And I didn't think about it until I got to my pinky that, wait a second, why aren't I using my regular paper forms that I love? They're from OG Dip Powder. This builder gel that I'm using is OG Dip Powder's HEMA-free clear builder gel in a jar. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite tricks with builder gel that I like to do is using a thin nail art brush to really get the builder gel exactly where you want it to be. Flipping your nail over for at least like 10 seconds allows the apex to build naturally, but using that thin nail art brush really allows you to get the builder gel where you want it to be. And you can get close to your sidewalls, close to your cuticles without flooding. I do a flash cure of each nail for 15 seconds with the form on before I go in and work on the next nail. And then once all my nails are done, I cure my pointer through pinky together, and then I cure my thumb separately because you tend to hold your thumb at a weird, like wonky angle in the UV light. So having it cure separately is just ensuring that you're getting that full cure because you're able to put your thumb down flat and let it really cure. Once you have completely finished all of your extensions, you've done your full cure in your lamp, and make sure that your lamp is a full cure lamp, not a flash cure lamp. Then you'll go in with isopropyl alcohol on all your nails, and this is where the magic happens. Okay, grab your hand file because we don't have to be perfect at the extensions because we can hand file. Hand filing has saved me with extensions. What I like to do first is I go in and like just get some of the length off, and then I start working on the shaping. And I typically go thumb to pinky working on my shaping and doing like my initial pass, and then I'll go back in if any need any tweaking. The nice thing about builder gel is it cures hard, but it's not hard gel. So hard gel needs to be filed off. It cannot be soaked off. Builder gel cures hard, but you can actually soak it off. I personally haven't soaked off builder gel in like 4.5 years, but you can. I just e-file it off to like a really thin layer anytime I want to do a full set change. But for the most part, I do a lot of fills and then just set changes here and there. So grab one of your hand files and use whichever side you feel more comfortable with. Some people feel more comfortable with the 100 side. Some people feel more comfortable with the 180 side. Typically what I like to do is I'll go around, if I have a lot of filing to do, I'll go around the sides first with the 100 side, and then I kind of perfect everything with the 180 because the higher the grit, the softer it is, the less coarse it is. Anytime you see me going on the top of my nails with the hand file, it's like maybe I made one area too thick because I'm doing extensions. So I'm really, having to focus on two pieces, getting my apex correct, getting the extension part correct, and not just focusing on getting that overlay down. So I do tend to have to do a bit more filing when I'm doing extensions, and that is okay. I go in with the 180 side and just make sure that I've got that nice curve to the builder gel because you want your builder gel to be sloping down towards your cuticles. So I go in with the hand file first, and then I go in with a big buffing block, which are these flexible files like I'm using in the video, and I really smooth my builder gel out. I personally like to really smooth my builder gel out because I use peel base over top of it, and then I do my dip manicures. If you want to just wear your builder gel, if you want to do gel over top of it, once you've perfected your shape with the filing and the buffing, then you can just go in, you wipe all that off with alcohol again, And you can go back in with dehydrator, primer, and then apply your gel base and gel top. Or if you'd want to do gel color, you can go back in with your dehydrator, primer, do your gel base, do your gel colors, and then do your gel top, and that would be it. And then all you'd have to do is file off your gel color if you just want to have builder gel as your base and do gel color. So I like to clean everything off first, and then I go in and really make sure that my shaping looks good. And for me, I have to do that because I feel like when there's too much dust on my nails from all the filing, it's really hard for me to see, like, does the shape look even? And I hold my hand like out flat, and then I kind of curl my fingers in and look at it all together and make sure that I really have the shaping exactly how I want, because that will mean less filing when I actually put my dip manicures over top. Now, one thing that I always make sure that I do is I file my nails thinner, quote unquote, than I want them to be since I do dip. You're somebody who dips over your builder gel. You want to file your nails a little bit skinnier, thinner, whatever you want to call it, than what you actually want them to be. And since dip adds the bulk, you're going to get a little bit wider, thicker of a nail. And this way, if you file them thinner, when the bulk's added, it's like the exact shape you want them to be. Now, if you're not ready to do extensions and you just need help with builder gel, make sure you check out this next video for basic builder gel overlays. Thanks for joining me today, nail crew.